Hello, everyone. Now, I wonder what would possess a director of finance and lead administrator of Yale University to steal 40 plus $1 million. I could only think of greed and, when you don't get caught. And this is something that this director of finance, her name is actually Jamie Petrone-Condrington. She's 42 years of age, and she's been working for Yale. Now, this happened over a 10-year period, and I actually came across this article last week, but I was going to do it, and I guess it slipped my mind. I got busy with other things, and so I didn't get to it. But I wanted to share this because this goes to show you what greed will do. And this is a woman that's been married for 19 years. She's actually a white woman. Her husband is black, and she's been married for a long time, and she also, I believe they have a child. I don't know how many children, but I saw a picture of just her. I saw a picture of her and her husband and a child. I've also saw a picture of them when they were over in France last year in July vacationing, and I believe that's when the complaint came in. And so in August of last year in 2021 is when they started investigating her. They also purchased, she was purchased three different homes, and one of them was in Lithia Springs or Lithia, Georgia. Other ones were in Connecticut, and she apparently, I think there's some co-owners involved because there's two different articles. There's one that I read last week, and then there's an updated one for this week. So it's just different people, come out and do their articles. So, and write their stories on these. So her husband looks like he's wearing some Louis Vuitton in the picture with a matching hat. And also, they showed in the first article I read that she had bought these Louis Vuitton boots. And I'm gonna tell you, the boots was bad. I'm a shoe person. I love shoes. The boots was bad, and it was like a matching purse that went with it. And then she had this other Louis Vuitton purse they showed was like a novelty purse, pretty nice. Don't get me wrong, pretty nice. I don't think they confiscated that from her because they probably said, she's already won it, whatever. But they are making her, she had to forfeit over $560,000 in cash from a business that she had. She was the principal owner of this business. Her husband is the co-owner, and it was called Maniz, Maniz Entertainment. And actually, it was on Instagram, but I couldn't find it when I went to search for it last week. I could no longer find it. But he was actually on Instagram. It was a business page where he was showing all his cars, and it's uh, five, cars that they purchased, and they're expensive cars, that they purchased, um, plus the three homes, and so she also has to pay 6 million something back to the IRS because she did not pay taxes. So there's a lot going on with this particular uh, female. But I still wonder about the husband. And I thought about that, and I was speaking to, excuse me, I was speaking to a family member, and I wanted to know, the husband is not named in this indictment or in the charges or in the he's not named in this, but he had to have known that his wife was doing something to get this type of money. You know what I'm saying? And it just don't seem right that she can, just lie about her paycheck unless they kept separate bank accounts. I don't want to speculate, but I just find it hard to believe that he didn't know anything about this because he was benefiting from this lifestyle. And not only that, he actually posed in front of two of the cars, like, hey, look at me, and he had on a red, I believe it was a red tennis shoe and a yellow tennis shoe in one of the videos that he was posing in front of with two luxury cars. But it was five luxury cars that they bought. It was two Mercedes. One of them was a 550, and then the other one was a Mercedes Benz, and they were not newer cars either. And then they had a 20, I believe, a 2018 Dodge Challenger. So so anyway, let's get into this article. It says a former Yale University administrative employee pleaded guilty to defrauding the school of more than $40 million by reselling electronics purchased with school funds. So basically, what this woman did, Miss Jamie, what she did is because she had access to up to $10,000 that she could purchase equipment with that needed to be replaced. Anything over that, she had to get permission. So what she did is she separated the purchases so they wouldn't go over $10,000. She also had her staff to help order this equipment. This is what she was doing. And then once the equipment came in, she would take the equipment and sell it through her business to retailers, probably at the retail price where they might have been getting it at wholesale. She sold it at the retail price. So basically, she was ordering equipment and then stealing it. And that's basically what she was doing. Just like if you work for a Nordstrom and you sell shoes and you go steal a whole bunch of shoes from Nordstrom and then resell them, and make money. So that's what she was doing, is stealing the money. But what Yale was paying for, excuse me, she was stealing basically, yeah, the equipment, what Yale paid for, and then she was selling it through her company under the disguise of her company and making money off of that. And she did this for over like 10 years. She did this. And when she falsified records and she would lie, about, oh, they needed equipment, it was broken. This is how she was getting away with this. But somebody finally, caught up with her. So anyway, according to the Department of Justice, the DOJ, excuse me, Jamie Petrone-Condrington, 42, the former director of finance and lead administrator at Yale Medical School's Department of Emergency Medicine, stole the money over 8 years. Now they're saying over 8 years, but the original article I read said 10. So, a lot of times that's how people get confused because there's different stories out there. So I would say between 8 to 10 years, he stole this money. He used the funds for various personal expenses, including expensive cars, real estate, and travel, including 3 Connecticut properties she owned or co-owned. So they're not saying who the co-owners are, but if you have the address, I guess you can look up the property addresses to find, to determine who actually owned them through the tax recorder's office. The other thing is, one of the houses in the original article stated that it was in Lithia, Georgia, and they showed the property. They showed the property. They showed a picture of it, and they said that house was worth. She paid $580,000 for this particular house. Okay, but the house didn't. To me, I mean, just the picture. I don't know. It just, to me, I've seen better houses, but I'm not trying to knock that, but it was probably the location, probably. And I've never been to Lithia, but it was probably the location. Because you can live in a good location and the house doesn't have to be all that. But it was a 5-bedroom, 5-bath house. But I'm just saying it was probably the location. So if you live in Georgia, you probably know what Lithia is, or Lithia Springs or something like that. So as part of Petrone-Condrington's job responsibility, she had the authority to make certain purchases for department needs as long as the purchases did not exceed $10,000. The Connecticut DOJ added she stole money from Yale since at least 2013, ordering or making others under her order, so under her supervision, her directorship, millions in electronic hardware using Yale Med School funds. Now, she was able to do this through she was the director of finance and lead administrator of the Yale Medical School of Medicine. So I can see her getting away with ordering equipment because, when you're talking about the School of Medicine, I can understand, I can see where she would be ordering equipment, but I just can't see where she would decide to take this equipment and sell it, steal it, and then sell it for a profit for her and her family to live off of, because she wanted to live a lavish lifestyle. So Petrone-Condrington then arranged to have the goods shipped to an out-of-state business in exchange for money. And they actually wired the money into her account. That's how she was able to get payment, to receive the money, for exchange for, the equipment. So to keep Yale supervisors at bay, Petrone-Condrington falsified forms. She explained in emails that the purchases for Yale Medical School needs and broke them up so they would fall up under the $10,000 threshold. The out-of-state business, which resold the items to customers, paid her by wiring funds into an account for Maziv, M-A-Z-I-V, Entertainment, LLC, which is a limited liability company, of which Petrone is a principal. And so the former Yale administrator pleaded guilty to one count of wire fraud, which carries a maximum 20-year sentence, and one count of filing a false tax return, which carries a maximum 3-year sentence. Petrone will be sentenced in June. Now, as part of the plea agreement, Petrone will forfeit $560,421.14 in cash that was seized from the Maziv, M-A-Z-I-V, Entertainment LLC bank account, a 2014 Mercedes-Benz G550, a 2017 Land Rover Range Rover SV autobiography. And so if you're into cars, you probably would know about these cars, you know, the 550, the G550 Mercedes-Benz, and the Land Rover Range Rover SV autobiography. And then a 2015 Cadillac Escalade Premium, a 2020 Mercedes-Benz model E450A, and then a 2016 Cadillac Escalade, and a 2018 Dodge Charger. Now, I forgot about the Mercedes-Benz model E450A 2020. That's fairly new. And a 2018 is not real old either, if you really look at it. But some of these other cars, like the 2014 Mercedes-Benz G550, that and the 2015 Cadillac Escalade Premium, those, and even the 2016 Cadillac Escalade, those are kind of older because it's already 2022, but it depends on also the when, if they bought them, if she was able to buy it brand new. Because remember, she did this over a period between 8 and 10 years, depending on which article that you read. Now, I've read the first article, it said 10 years, and now this article says 8 years. But like I'm saying, that if she bought those cars new, then, you know, then that's different. But if she bought these cars used, then yeah, I mean, they're not, some of them are, not the, because they're saying that she started doing this at least from 2013. So she might have bought the cars brand new, you know, that's something to think about, and then she will also be forced to liquidate the three properties she owns or co-owns. So how she was able to do it, I'm not really sure. Like I said, she was getting away with it. She was lying. Now I'm going to read the article that I originally came across, and this is the one that came from the Daily Mail, because that other one is from the Black Enterprise. So this one is from the Daily Mail, and it says that she bought thousands of tablet computers in transactions under 10,000 K each over 10 years until an anonymous tipster saw her loading them into her car. So obviously she got caught because somebody saw her loading them in her car. So she finally got caught. Because I would wonder, how did she get away with putting them in her vehicle? So somebody saw her doing it, and so they reported her. So they obviously knew something just was shady, it just wasn't right, because she was able to get away with stealing 40 million, but it was more than actual $40 million from her employer. So basically she was buying, she was ordering these tablets and reselling them over 10 years until she was busted by an anonymous tipster who saw her load them into her car. And so she would place orders for iPads. So, it was iPads, Microsoft Surface Pros. And if you know anything about computers and you know what those are worth, the Microsoft Surface Pros, for the college, they came in under $10,000. That's a lot of money. So orders for IT equipment below that amount did not have to be approved, like I was saying, by her superior. So she had a threshold that she couldn't go over. Anything over 10,000, she had to, she had to get permission, and she also had to explain, and it had to be a legitimate reason to why she needed to do that. And so she repeated the scam thousands of times over an estimated 10 years, and sold the tablets to an unidentified business in Long Island. And so Petrone-Condrington, who admitted wire fraud Monday, was first probed by staff at Yale in June of 2020 over her spending on computers. So this originally they said 2020 it happened, but I know they started doing some investigation on her. You know, uh, and I believe they let her keep doing it, I guess, so they can watch and make sure and investigate it and see, because they allowed her to do it. And then I believe that's when they charged her, was in August of 2021. But she was allowed, they let her keep going on. So we're going to finish reading it. But that internal investigation did not recommend any action against the scammer of Lithia Springs, Georgia. Lithia Springs in Georgia. So she actually, like I said, she bought a house down there because it showed a picture of the home that she bought down there as well. And she was allowed to continue with the scheme until July 2021. Now, the thing is that they found out in 2020, but they allowed it. And you know, the interesting thing, she was in France, they said, in July. So I said, well, that was her last vacation. She took a nice vacation before she got charged, before, they called her in, to sit down and talk to her, or however they did it. Um, you know, that she took a nice vacation and showed her and her husband over in France vacationing. Okay, now, so Petrone-Condrington, who blew her ill-gotten gains on 3 matches. And sometimes these articles are not always like the spelling, because her name, from what I always gathered, was Condrington. And then in one place it said Condringham, and that's what I said, but I stand corrected. It's Condrington is what I understand her last name to be, is Petrone hyphenated Condrington, who blew her ill-gotten gains on 3 mansions. So she was living in some mansions, 5 luxury cars, holidays, and designer handbags, was finally busted by an anonymous tip-off made to Yale bosses about her antics. And remember I told you that she used to have her people that reported to her, um, having them to order equipment as well. So maybe it was someone that worked up under her that tipped them off. So it is unclear how bosses at the college, famed for its 42.3 billion endowment, missed the industrial level fraud being carried out by the scammer. And I was thinking the same thing. How did they miss that? How did they miss that for 10 years? 8 to 10 years, depending on the article, but 10 years, how did they miss that? And it says that Petrone-Condrington's brazen crimes even saw her apply for a PayPal loan using her work email address, which saw her send over 4 months of bank statements that detailed her lavish spending. So she applied for a PayPal loan using her work email address. She got, you know what? She got sloppy. She got sloppy. Because why would she use her work email address? She got sloppy. So all they had to do was go and look. They just had to go look, and she got sloppy. Yep. So as part of her job at the Yale University School of Medicine's Department of Emergency Medicine, Petrone-Condrington was authorized to make purchases for her department below $10,000. So beginning in 2013, she ordered, or had her staffers order, millions of dollars of electronics, Microsoft Surface Pro tablets, iPads, from Yale vendors now, using the school's funds, and arranged to ship the goods to an out-of-state business in exchange for money, which she then pocketed, according to documents. As part of the scheme, she falsely represented on Yale internal forms and in emails that the equipment for Yale medical needs, such as medical studies, okay? Because, remember, it was the School of Medicine. And to cover up her crimes, she broke up the fraudulent purchase into orders below the 10,000 threshold, is what I was saying, that would, so that it wouldn't require additional approval. So if she had to do anything more than $10,000, like I said, it would require additional approval. And they show a picture of her in this particular article, and I'm going to put both of them there for you to actually look at. But they show her, she's been married for nearly 19 years. And they show her on her wedding day when she, got married. And then they also have a picture of her when she was over in France, not France, but Florence, Italy. Florence, Italy in July of 2021. She was over there having a good time, got a little drink, a little wine, champagne, whatever that glass is called, in her hand. I'm not an alcohol drinker, so I don't really know the names of those glasses, but she got it up in her hand, and and her husband smiling, and she's turned towards him, you know, okay. And then there's another picture of her with her and her husband, and he got on a Louis Vuitton shirt, matching hat, the shoes, the whole shebang, okay, except for the pants. He wearing some different pants. And then they show the two nice vehicles. They only show two of those out of the five. They're showing a 2014 white Mercedes-Benz G550, right, and a 2020 red Mercedes-Benz, okay. Um, and then they show the cute little novelty Louis Vuitton purse. And I like that purse. I was like, that's a cute little purse. Okay. Um, and it says like she made high-end purchases, $5,000 for a Louis Vuitton handbag, and then a pair of ankle boots with a $1,500 price tag. Okay. And them boots is bad. I really do like them. And I'm gonna tell you, they are some bad looking boots. If you can wear some heels like that, these Louis Vuitton, those are some bad boots. I'm gonna tell you that now. They got the patent leather on the toe, the patent leather on the heel, got a nice little chunky heel, lace up, and the patent leather of the black goes all the way down. There's a little strip of the Louis Vuitton signature, and then they got the signature body part on the sides, and then it's got like a matching little bag with some red leather. Girl was spending, wasn't she? And then they show that the Instagram post shared by the couple referred to their Range Rover as their baby girl. You know what I'm saying? So she even named the Range Rover baby girl. And I'm like, this was not your money, but you was really balling. And then she's in a picture where, she got her hair braided, which it look cute, cute. Okay. Uh, Posted an image of herself enjoying a party with a woman she dubbed as sis. So I wonder if that was her brother, her husband, excuse me, her husband's sister, but she dubbed somebody as sis. And then she also was enjoying a brunch in her lavish family home. She bought 3 luxury homes with money she stole from Yale. Okay. So court docs say that since January 2021, Petrone-Condrington arranged for the purchase of 8,000 iPads. Now she got real greedy. See, when you get greedy like that, then they eventually you're gonna get caught. And remember what I was saying in a prior video that when you do wrong, you know what I'm saying? When you do wrong, your success is going to be short-lived. Don't people get it? This is what she was doing, was stealing. It doesn't matter if it was Yale or if it was the 7-Eleven down the street. If you are stealing and you keep doing it, sometimes it's the first time on the CCTV or a camera video. But if you are stealing, it doesn't matter if it's Yale and they got plenty of money and you say, well, they can afford to steal money. It doesn't matter. 7-Eleven, Circle K, AM, PM, or Arco, Shell gas station, Valero, I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. If you are stealing, it will catch up with you. Your success will be short-lived. It is better to work hard and to do better and to level up to get a real job. She had a real job that she blew. How many people do you know that would have loved to be the director of finance and a lead administrator at Yale? And she probably was making good money at Yale, probably making very good money at Yale, but she got greedy. She thought she had to live that certain lifestyle. She thought she had to prove something. So then you go back and you hear this black guy in the previous video I did talking about black women need to level up and marry, a white man. Well, you know what, saying that they would do better, but she married a black man. But look at who's stealing the money. She was stealing it. She was the one with the good job and was stealing the money while the husband was benefiting. Okay, so a purchase of 8,000 iPads and Surface Pro tablets, and between May 2021 and August 2021, she ordered 2.1 million in equipment for the school. And on August 24th, 2021, she placed an additional $144,000 order. You see what I'm saying? That's a lot. She went big. This time she went real big. 2.1 million, 144,000. She went real big, you guys. And then on May 26, 2021, She asked an employee to prepare documentation for an order of 100 Microsoft Surface Pro tablets computers, which she claimed were for a new study that will launch that Memorial Day weekend. Now, wouldn't they know if there was a study going on or not? Because I know that there will be, like, if it's a study, you're going to have probably students in there, or you're going to have a lot of doctors in there participating, or scientists, or researchers. But wouldn't they know if it was a study going on? And she said, the employee prepared 12 purchase orders for 8 Surface Pros that totaled just over $9,000, and another purchase for 4 Surface Pros that came out to just over $4,500, according to court documents. But those devices that were purchased by Yale were sold and shipped to a business located in New York. And when investigators reviewed her bank records, they saw the New York business wired her $71,000. Wait, 71,000, excuse me. Let me get it straight, okay? Don't let me get it twisted. $71,800, okay? And then bank statements from February to May of 2021 show hundreds of thousands of dollars in wire transfers to Petrone-Condrington from business that purchased the stolen equipment, court documents said. I will stop right there and wonder, do those businesses have to give back that equipment? Or they just gonna make her pay it all back? More than likely, they just gonna make her pay it all back. So while Yale officials notified law enforcement on August 25th, 2021, the tip that ultimately led to the end of the scheme was received by word of mouth sometime over the last year, according to documents. And see, this is a picture of her and her husband. Um, and he got on, it looked like, I don't know if that's Louis Vuitton, whatever he got on in the picture, with their son and her, and they standing in the driveway. I believe this is one of the mansions, and she's smiling. Girl, they was balling. She was actually really balling, okay? uh it also state court documents that she ordered, or had her staffers order, millions of dollars of electronics, which she then sold to an out-of-state company for profits. And I believe that was that picture. They have a picture of her and her family. And then court documents do not indicate the exact date Yale officials were alerted, but say that for unspecified various reasons, the university was not able to mount a concerted investigative effort until about July 1, 2021. And that's what I was telling you all, is that that's when they started really doing the investigation, was in July 2021. That they didn't do anything. The authorities didn't do anything before then. It says before she was busted, Petrone-Condrington's 10-year scheme was used to fund an inviolable, luxurious lifestyle. So in total, Petrone caused a loss of approximately 40,504,200 to Yale. The U.S. Attorney's Office stated she also used the proceeds of the sales of the stolen equipment for various personal expenses, including expensive cars, real estate, and travel. And then, according to court records specifically, she used some of her misbegotten funds to purchase 3 homes, which we talked about that, in the cars. And they're showing this house. And again, I was letting you all know that she bought this house. It's in Lithia Springs, Georgia. And if you've been there before, you know about Lithia Springs. Is that one of them neighborhoods that's exclusive? And is that why the house was worth $580,000? Because when I look at this house, it's not a bad looking house, because it has 2 double-car garages, has a long driveway, but it doesn't. I was looking at it, and I was like trying to, and it's got some walkways and stuff going around the community. But when I was looking at that, I was like, I've seen some houses that look a little more fancier than that, but $580,000. So it must be an exclusive neighborhood, and it's probably a great location. And then they show, like I said, the one that she called baby girl. They show the baby girl, that 2017 red Land Rover, which, you know what? She has to give all that up. So everything that they were sitting there, flossing and doing all that, she got caught, and now she has to give all that up. And I wonder if her friends, and the one she calls sis, I wonder if they gonna still stand beside her when she goes to prison, because it says she's facing 20 years in prison. And I wonder if they're gonna send money, put money on her books, if they're gonna do any of that. And I also wonder if she put some money aside and hid some money somewhere. You know what I mean? Because she only had to forfeit, that $560 some thousand. And then her husband, James, or Jamie, or James, Jmyes, he has not been charged. But he was, like I told you, he was on Instagram showing off the vehicles. It was an Instagram page associated with their business. And he's actually standing, he's like, um, profiling in front of one of the vehicles with a red shoe on and a yellow shoe with a blue outfit with some trimmed in yellow, and it's got some green, red, and some other color on it, orange looking. He got on a blue hat, and he leaning forward. So I'm just wondering if he already knew about all of that and he just went along with it. And also, she cheated the U.S. Treasury out of 6.4 million in unpaid taxes. So she wasn't even paying taxes. And so they've been married for nearly 19 years. And Jamie Condrington, it says, displayed the family's impressive collection of cars on his business Instagram page, which also features photos of the couple enjoying dinner at Gucci Garden in Florence, Italy in July 2021. Gucci Garden, okay? And then he's 44 years old. He has not been charged in connection with his wife's scheme. She also failed to pay taxes on the tens of millions of dollars she received from selling the stolen equipment. She filed the false tax returns, but that was between when she filed the false tax returns, that was between 2013 and 20 through 2016 tax years, in which she falsely claimed as business expenses the cost of the stolen electronics and did not file any federal tax returns for the 2017 through 2020 tax years, costing the U.S. Treasury more than $6.4 million. So she she just, I don't know, man. She filed these tax returns. They was false. And then she didn't file any from 2017 to 2020. So she now faces up to 23 years in prison. So more than 20 years in prison when she is sentenced for her crimes. She's going to be sentenced in June, you all, June 29th of this year. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Connecticut said in a statement, and as part of the plea agreement, she has agreed to forfeit $560,000 plus that was seized from the Maziv Entertainment's bank account, along with the 6 high-end vehicles. She has also agreed to sell the 3 homes she owns and co-owns in Naugatuck and Stratford, Connecticut, and use the money to make restitutions to Yale University and the government. Her home in Lithia Springs, Georgia, is also subject to seizure and liquidation. So, you know what? They are subject to seize it and then sell it, auction it off. And according to Zillow.com, the 5-bedroom, 5-bath home has an estimated value of more than $580,000, not just 580, thousand, but $580,000 more than. And she is currently free on a $1 million bail pending her sentencing. And since she's going to be sentenced in June, she's probably trying to get her affairs in order. And maybe she's trying to make some arrangements with the money situation because the money has stopped, and she had to forfeit money. So maybe she's trying to sell these houses and then, these homes, these mansions that she bought with the stolen goods. And it's really sad to see this type of story come out. But you all please leave your comments below on what you think about this story. It's like I said, I'm going to put both of the link, both of the uh the site, both of them, so that you can read them for yourself, or if you just want to see the pictures, of them, you're more than welcome to do that. I'll make sure that they're there down there in the, in the description box for you to get those, to go back and read them, or even just look at the pictures of them. I mean, like, they was living large. I got to give it to them. They was living lavishly large. But it's just really sad to read a story like that, that greed overtakes you, and we don't know the circumstance what led her to really start doing that, and if she was just the front, and maybe she got that job knowing that she was just going to be able to do it, or got that job and then realized that she had, leeway, and she had threshold and an opportunity to do it, and so she did it. And that's a sad story right there, to be stealing money like that. That ain't nothing but what, a white collar crime, and to steal money like that. So she is definitely going to be sentenced, and more than likely she's going to get some jail time. But then again, she might not get jail time. She might just get probation and house arrest. We don't know. But anyway, leave your comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about these this woman stealing this type of money from Yale University by buying equipment and then selling it. So, and again, I haven't been able to find it on Instagram, Maziv Entertainment. I think that's probably taken down now that, is linked to criminal activity. So, talk to you all later. Have a beautiful evening.